Okay, going to show you how to service an Exact Pro 6500 kit in this WP fork. This fork's off this 350 2022 model. A couple things you'll need: some tools for, to open the fork. This is for the fork preload adjuster. Goes here, and then this special tool you can get from Racetech. It goes in here so you can get the inner cartridge out. And the fork cap tool, obviously. Need a couple extra things here, like a holder for the inner cartridge, and just basic screwdriver, H tool to hold the rebound rod, ratchet, 19 mil, 17 mil, end wrench, bullet, fork seal driver, some suspension clean, ratio right, torque wrench. Most of this stuff should be basic. If you don't have this, I recommend getting at least this so you can service the outer cartridge of this fork. You don't have to service the inner cartridge every time, but we're going to go ahead and do that here today so I can show you how to do it. I've already done one, and we're going to do this one. I already have some measurement, or the clickers written down from the other one I did, so I'm going to go ahead and back those out. And one thing I like to do, just to make it a little bit easier, is to break loose the inner cartridge, because if you already have it all together and you can go ahead and break it loose, it makes it a lot easier. You don't have to put it in the vise and put a bunch of pressure on it, and just, in my opinion, it just makes it a little bit easier. Let's flip this over, go the right way. Maybe. So just break loose, just enough to, that way it's ready to go, come out, and we'll put this right here in this vise. These crappy jaws. And then when you clamp a fork, you want to clamp it where the triple clamp clamps it. So right here would be where you want to clamp it. And then sometimes you can, if it's a new fork, you can use a little heat and bust this loose. These have been apart before, obviously, because they have this kit. But sometimes it's easier just to heat it up a little bit and make it a little easier to get this cap undone. But we'll just go here, and I like to hit it, give it a little bit of a push, knocks it loose a little bit easier, like that. Come right off. And then what we'll do, take it out. Come over here to this drain pan. Put a drain. It's a little cold, so it's draining kind of slow. I'll put it a few times. You can also let this sit upside down in the pan, or you can hang it upside down in the vise and let it drain if you wanted to, if you didn't want to sit here and wait on it. That's probably good enough. And what we'll do is we'll put it back together here. This. Just gonna tighten it up to where the O-ring's down. Like that. We're going to flip it upside down. Then we're going to put it in the vise like this. Again, these clamps are really crappy. I haven't put my new vise in yet. So this will work for now. So we did already break this loose. So we're good there. Go ahead and switch to the 19 mil. We'll break this loose. If you don't have a vise, you can also use the front axle and then just put it in, put it at an angle to where it'll hold this. You can do most of this without a vise if you have to. So a vise isn't always necessary, but it's very helpful because you can break that top cap loose with it in the bike a lot of times. Or if it's been serviced before, they're typically not too bad to get apart. An old triple clamp too, you can use that, and then put it in an old triple clamp and use it to brace the fork against the bench or whatever you might want to do there if you don't have a vise. But vices are relatively cheap, so if you don't have one, get one. Okay, we'll take this tool here, just a Tusk one. You can get this from Rocky Mountain. You can get a Racetech one too, which different companies have these. We're going to push it all the way down. This is a long one, like that. This is much longer than like a normal fork. So we got that. And we have our 19. This is where our 17 comes in. Go right here, and we're going to break it loose like that. Back it off. And it will get tight again when you back this down the rod. You'll have to use a little bit of pressure to break it loose again, like that. It could come off my hand. Oh, almost dropped it. So we have our base unit. This controls our rebound dampening. Dampening rod. This goes in here, pushes against the rebound on the mid valve. So, just in case you didn't know what that was. If you don't, you probably shouldn't. Maybe you shouldn't do this. Let's see. Now we'll take it apart. Again, we'll push down on it. Here, you don't want to. If you have a concrete floor, luckily this trailer's a wood floor and I got some mats down, but you don't want to do this on a concrete floor. You could do it on your foot. I've done that before. You can put it on your foot, and then sometimes it helps to use your axle. Give you a little more leverage. Push it down. You can take it out and put it on your foot if you're on a concrete floor, dirt floor, whatever. But in here, that's wood floor, mats. It's not going to hurt anything. So I normally just put it on the floor, or you can put it in the vise like this, and then push it that way. So a couple different ways to do it. Every way works, just whatever's easy for you and your situation. So take this apart. So here's the inner cartridge of the 6500 kit. Pretty nice kit. This basically from a air fork. Both forks have a spring, and then have this cartridge here, which has a compression unit and a mid valve with valving. Where the air fork only has air in one side, and then it has a compression and mid valve in one fork. So this actually more like a traditional fork, like a Showa or a KYB. KYB does have a kit that you can put in these too. I do have that one in my personal bike. So, and then now take a